I'm desperate to make this video. I don't know. This is not paranoia. This is not that I'm crazy. These people are doing everything to make me look crazy and not believe anything that I'm saying. So all I can say is if someone can hire a private detective or tell me answers, please help me with what is going on with who is using these electronic devices on me. The police department seems to be playing in on this. Like, I think yesterday, a couple days ago, my back still hurts, the lower back. They're using some sort of frequency that is shooting into my spinal cord so that it hurts when I move my back. And they know that I have to go to work. So now I have to pick up stuff to put them on shelves, making it very strainful at my job site. As I earlier, about 20 minutes ago, to go smoke a cigarette, there was a police officer that drove by across the street. So the police officers are playing in on this to allow the assaults to whoever's doing this and the individual downstairs to do this to me. I don't know if I've repeated myself enough, but the individual downstairs he looked a little familiar, and I know it's been 8 or 9 months since 10 months that I've lived here now. My lease ends in last day of July. I have to leave. So I'm going to leave, maybe probably sooner. But this individual was stalking me, and I'm not kidding you. This individual downstairs that has been beating me with these electronic devices downstairs, he keeps hitting the walls, and there's some frequency, like an electrical shock, that shoots into my body, like tasering me. Well, this individual, I call the manager, and I don't even want to talk to the manager. Scared to talk to the manager because this manager, Amanda Heiker, is in on this, and she's just playing me stupid since I've lived here, and just completely just blown me off. And there's a transgender that has run this place. But this individual downstairs was at the Lawrence Community Shelter several years ago. And I called the Lawrence Community Shelter about 3 days ago. And I asked them, and I called the number. Remember, my phone calls are all tapped and they're being rewired. They know who I'm calling before I call them because they have caller ID, so it gets then rerouted who I'm calling, and they pretend that they're the Lawrence Community Shelter. I don't know how the fuck they're doing this with my phone, but they are. And I called the Lawrence Community Shelter and I asked them, can you give me all the names and people, or do you keep all the track? I said, do you keep track of all the names of the people that are going into the shelter? Because when people commit homicides and murders, all the hotels in the United States and even in other places, anybody that books in or checks in into the hotels, they get documented and put on a data system, because there's a lot of murderers and rapists and a lot of criminal activity that happens, and they always try to go into hotels and go to these types of hotels, and that's why the police officers can go to the hotels or whatever investigation can happen to track that documentation down. Shelters isn't any difference. Well, this is the shelter where Michaela was staying at. Was working at. My sister, Michaela Leeser. And when I called the shelter, this person started to get a really nasty attitude and acting all crazy and manipulative, and basically didn't want to even have a discussion with me. Now, I haven't called the Lawrence Community Shelter in years. They should not know or get attitudes. This is a homeless shelter. And they said that they don't keep, and I know this person was lying, any track of anybody that's going into the shelter. Okay? So this is at the Lawrence Community Shelter in Lawrence, Kansas, where I've stayed in 3 separate occasions. In 2000, I think it was 21, was whenever Michaela, my sister, was working there, and I had no idea. I don't know what investigation she's doing on her own or what's happening. But this individual downstairs, Michaela, this individual downstairs is now living downstairs and is following me, and has traveled all the way to Lawrence, Kansas, He intentionally made sure that I could see him, and where they were making me forcing me to take a shit. I'm telling you, I was running to the restroom, nearly going to shit my pants, because they have this electronic device that they're using. And when I went into the bathroom, this individual was there, and then he went back to his bunk, and he was only there for about a day or two. He was only there for about a day or two. And this individual has an obsession with me, and whatever it is that someone is either paying him, he's going along with these psychologists. I don't even think they're psychologists, these criminals. Well, he is living downstairs below me and is the person now that has been beating me for the last 10 months. Now, I don't know what homicide and murders. This guy is on a murder-suicide plan. He wants to harm me as much as he can. This guy is 77 years old, but very healthy and functional. This guy's on a murder-suicide plan. Now, I have not said anything. When I first moved in, he tried pushing through my door and telling me that, pointing at the corner of the wall, saying, no, that's why. And I just felt him shoot me right now just with an electronic device. This guy's on a murder-suicide. He wants to harm me and do as much as harm and intentional target me before he dies. This guy's like 75 years old. This guy's fully functional as fucking crazy. Flying all the way, following me from Lawrence, Kansas to a remote location here in Vermont. Living in an apartment below me, beating the fuck out of me for 9 or 10 months. Now, he hardly comes out of his fucking room, and like I said, 20 minutes ago when I walked out to smoke a cigarette, there was a police officer that was driving by, but it's far across the other street. So the police officers are being used as personal servants to allow the people to attack me and persecute me, to only use that law enforcement as a personal servant to attack me and intimidate me and scare me. And it is working to scare the hell out of me, because they know and they're cornering me. It's like using the inmates in jail or in prison to rape the other inmates that they don't like. And this is what they're doing. This individual downstairs, Michaela, I'm not kidding you. If you look up, if you're able to get the names of these people, there's an individual that lives in this apartment downstairs directly below me. I live at the 59 Upper Weldon Street, St. Albans, Vermont, 05478. The Weldon Villa Apartment is the name, here in St. Albans, Vermont. If you look up the names and the person that's below me, you will find that you should be, and if they keep track of the names of the Lawrence Community Shelter, of all the names that are going through, I can provide proof that this individual is stalking me and targeting me. Someone is paying these people intentionally, not just to target me, but stalk me. And they're enjoying the torture that they're doing to me. Now, I want to say this very carefully and very seriously. This guy's on a murder-suicide plan. He wants to do as much as this individual does not give a shit about anything. He is literally controlling me with this other team of people that are shooting electronic devices. Since I have been here religiously and trying to sacrifice me and playing sort of this ritual death sacrifice on me, because they know I'm likely to develop cancer. No, now, I want to say this, the police officers are in on this. Later today, I have to go to Walmart for orientation. I can't work very many hours. I can't work very many hours because of my Social Security, and so they already know everything about everything that's going on. They know I can only work there a couple of days and I have to quit, because I already have another part-time job on top of my Social Security, and I won't be able to, because my rent changes and all this other stuff that goes on in on this. But I'm working at Market 32 from 10:30 to 5 a.m. They're causing a lot of problems at my job, and they're stirring up. All they're doing is encouraging and talking about the rape that had happened to me and my brother with Miguel and this transgender Diana that had done this several years ago, and they're getting the energetic influences to target me this way and persecute me for Miguel and Diana raping my brother Frankie. I'm not kidding you. This is all that they're doing. This individual downstairs is playing along with the rapes that are going on. So they're getting notified of what goes on my job, what goes in my environments, and then encouraging and cycling this in a complete chaos. But they're trying to make me look as crazy as they possibly can. I'm afraid to call the police for any fucking reason because they are not helping me. They are not cooperating. I have to have an attorney to even talk to them or even want to even call in for anything. I've called 911 and it's being transferred to people that are yelling at me over the fucking phone. I'm not joking. I have been walking. I've made a video on this several months ago where somebody got into a car wreck. And I called 911 just to even help someone else. And the person that picked up the phone was yelling at me. And this is supposed to, and a 911 phone calls immediately get rerouted to an individual that is a call center, a specific 911 call center. I want to make this very clear, Michaela. Please be careful. Whoever is doing this, they're paying this person, and this person has an obsession with me to fight and to believe in everything and justify the rapes that had happened and make sure that Ken and Sarah Cooper look like heroes. But he has been training and beating the hell out of me since I have lived here. All day, every day, he's just shooting me with electronic devices and hitting the fucking walls all throughout the night. I'm literally laying in this bed and they're using a frequency device. They can change the frequency, whether it spans into a large circle or it spans into just a needle, like someone pricking me or burning me. It's a frequency electronic device that they're using. And I'm laying in this bed and they begin to shoot me in the back of my head with a low frequency, and it feels like I'm getting a headache. Like, what the hell's going on? And all of a sudden, as soon as I move my head and I feel somebody shooting me, the individual downstairs grabs a bunch of boxes and he like collapses them on the ground against the wall. And then I feel the vibration of that shock, of the vibration of those movement items falling. And so he's playing along with this. I feel very terrified for my life. I'm not joking. They're using the police department to target me and to allow the harmful things. This guy's on a murder-suicide. I don't want to play or be any part of this at all. The landlord that is at this apartment complex is playing along with it and playing me stupid. She keeps trying to pretend to be my mother, Celestina Melendez. And there's people at my job site, and when I'm getting to Walmart, all of them swarming and attacking me, swarm me like they're the personal security guards and police officers over my life. And I'm not joking when I say this. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to probably have to fly out of here without a doubt. I probably won't take a bus, but I'm going to have to leave. I have a $1,400 deposit that I have at this apartment. This is how much money they're stealing from me. Like, I have to go to, all the money that I make is nothing but gifts that I try to give to people because I'm more afraid of, they're gonna have me murdered and killed and wait until I develop cancer. But at least I can try to reach out to people that what my life is has more value than this worthless murder-suicide individual downstairs and the people that are doing this to me. So this is very terrifying that this individual is doing this and beating the hell out of me and using the police officers. Like I said, I don't know really what to do with the circumstances other than run for my life, and they're injuring my back. I don't know who the hell's to make it like a very, very torturous pain so that when I do basic functions, but when I'm laying in this bed, they're shooting me all fucking day. And I'm just so used to it. Because all I ever hear me say, when I know they have recording and cameras in here, or however they're watching me in here, is keep saying, please stop shooting me, stop shooting me, stop. And they're not. They're beating the hell out of me non-stop. So I want to make this video very serious. I'm not joking. This individual is stalking me all the way from Lawrence, Kansas. Michaela, please be careful. Please look up this individual's name and the people that are involved. They're following me. I'm not crazy. Look up his name. You should be able to get the names at Lawrence Community Shelter.